On this Starbase update, I'm obviously not Jack, this is not Starbase, that's not the production site, but that is the launch site. Starship will be coming here eventually, so I guess for today, you're stuck with me. We have the signs of an imminent return of a booster to the launch pad, some old vehicles are being scrapped, and testing might start as early as this week. And also, we have road closures. Howdy everybody, my name's Max Evans with NSF, and join me today for this week's Starbase Update. Sponsored by Brilliant. Let's begin over at the Starfactory and then the infrastructure of the production site. Over at the Starfactory, the last few open panels are slowly being closed. Most of the roof and the wall structures are already finished, and based on some Cybertruck promotion, we saw that inside of it is already partially being used. So expect most production to move into it very soon. Over at the Mega Bay, more and more glass panels are being installed. We still don't quite yet know how SpaceX is planning on using both bay tops, as they both mostly seem to be unused. But surely they have some plans for them in the future. Over where the old mid-bay used to be, cleanup and restructuring are ongoing. It seems that this area may also be getting a major overhaul once the cleanup from the rest is finished. It could be something exciting, but most likely, it's probably just more Starfactory. But we have something a bit more mysterious for you. NSF presents the Mystery Concrete Structure. It's a structure at the bays that is currently being built, and it is exactly that. A mystery. Let us know in the comments below what you think it might be. It visibly features some openings and doors, so it's obviously a building. The question is just what it might be used for in terms of Starbase operations. Crews are also still working on the new high/mega bay, which so far has not been used. But with the upscaling of Starfactory and Elon's plans for Starship V2, we might just see it being used very soon, as they will need more space to work with larger ships. Now, say goodbye to Ship 26. I really like Ship 26. It was hooked up to a crane overnight, which most likely means the process of scrapping hardware is about to begin. So, if you're a fan of the tileless version of a Starship that's some kind of hybrid between SN5 and SN8, you're probably feeling pretty sad. Or not. For the connoisseurs of more normal ship design, this is a relief, as Ship 26 has sparked some pretty heated discussions both in the NSF Discord, chat, and even within the team itself. Personally, I was kind of hoping to see Ship 26 fly, but whatever. Moving right along, it's time to move our attention over to the launch site. Over at the launch pad, we see more work at all of the plumbing, piping, manifolds, and in the general tank farm area. As covered in our last Starbase update, there is a sizable tank farm expansion going on, and the capabilities of the farm are being upgraded. So it seems that this is also progressing nicely. Here, you can see one of the cryopipes being moved at the tank farm area. Installation on the pipes helps keep the cryogenic propellants and other fluids at their desired temperatures. And also, some Chopstick testing commenced. The Chopsticks were raised on Tuesday, as they probably tested some repairs that were made. While they looked in pretty good shape after Flight 2, you never know if there were some minor repairs or reinforcements that were needed. And of course, testing these changes before a super heavy booster is attached to them is probably for the best. This also bodes well for those who are hoping to see some booster testing coming up very soon. They went about all the way up, which looks about the height they would need to go for a full ship lift on top of a booster. Preparation for a booster also means work continues on the Orbital Launch Mount. Many cherry pickers were up as the mount is being inspected, refurbished, and repaired for the next flight test campaign. This time, the work seems to be more inspection heavy than anything else, as we did not observe any major refurbishment or repair work on the pad so far, which speaks testament to its current design. Another part that went through some testing was the ship QD. It was retracted and it was moved around. Again, this is something you probably want to test before you full stack again. Over behind Hoppy, yeah, Jack's not here, so it's Hoppy. Work continues on further wall expansion as well. At long last, SpaceX seems to finally want to lock in the design of the launch site and make all of this a bit more standardized. So all the walls are replacing the old fencing and container walls. And of course, since we're trying to cover this, we aren't the happiest about higher walls. But hey, in the end, this is SpaceX property and they can do pretty much whatever they want to. To close out pre-stack testing, the Chopsticks went up once again. So it seems the hardware is ready to receive the next full stack, or at least the next booster, hopefully soon. But before we talk about the next full stack, let's hear from today's sponsor.
In the vast expanse where stars ignite, a vessel soars with daring flight. Endeavor, noble in its name, In space, it claims eternal fame. You like my poem? I call it an ode to the best space shuttle. Okay, I didn't write it, ChatGPT did. But how can AI create such a beautiful poem like that? You can find out how using the sponsor of today's video, Brilliant.org. Brilliant is the best way to learn about different math, science, and technology topics, and it's interactive. I've been loving the language learning model course with a lesson on creativity and coherence, diving into how ChatGPT can wax poetically about endeavor. You can get a 30-day free trial by visiting brilliant.org/NASA spaceflight or by clicking the link in the description below. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription. All right, let me try writing my own poetry here. As much as I don't want to go, it is time to go back to the main video.
The next Fullstack is moving right along as Booster 10 has just received its crown. The Hotstaging Ring has been installed, confirming that SpaceX has not abandoned the process for Flight 3, but for now, we'll be sticking with it and embracing it. Only time and more zoomed shots will tell if there have been any significant changes to the ring compared to Booster 9's. But we have more positive signs that Booster 10 was about to move. The booster transport stand is moving inside the Mega Bay to receive the booster. With the Hotstaging Ring installed and preparations on the OLM ongoing, this is the most likely candidate for the transport. As of the writing of this video, a transport closure is planned for Sunday, so at this point the booster could already be at the pad. The transport stand was quickly used on Tuesday as Booster 10 was moved onto it by the bridge crane. With that, it should be ready to be transported. The bridge crane is installed at the top of the Mega Bay as a permanent crane, and in this case, used to show Booster 10 the door out. Interestingly, the grid fins are not in a sorted straight position at this point like SpaceX has done for previous flight articles. Over at the high bay, Ship 28 received some more tile work. While SpaceX did not confirm any numbers in the recent highlight video of Flight 2, they showed some punched-in shots on Booster 10 and Ship 28 while talking about the next flight, which indicates that they might indeed be the next candidates to fly. RIP Ship 26. The video also showcased other things such as some onboard camera angles, which were much anticipated, stage separation, and some other neat shots. Neat! As Das would say. We are working on a more in-depth analysis video looking through everything we saw, but for the moment, it stands as a video for all space fans to enjoy. While not yet being transported to the pad, Booster 10 must have wanted some fresh air from the Mega Bay. It was moved to the rocket garden, which sometimes is also used as a parking lot or storage space for boosters and ships alike. I guess the common expectation here is that if the pad and chopsticks aren't quite ready for the booster or other flight hardware, you roll it over to the rocket garden while it waits for the launch pad to be ready. Moving up the booster, as we take a closer look, you can see that it seems to be in a fairly advanced state of development. All of the hardware we would expect on a finished booster is already installed. Despite serving as prototypes, the current articles are rapidly advancing in terms of their construction, fit, and finish. Another view showed us around the QD area and the pipes that lead partially inside and outside of the booster, transporting the propellants, power, and data to where they are needed inside the booster. If we can recall back to Booster 9, rolling out with the Hotstaging Ring could be one of the last for this booster, as SpaceX wants to move as fast as possible towards Flight 3. In what seems to be a trivial move, the Booster 10 sling adapters were removed as these are only used in the Mega Bay. Now, it's configured to be lifted solely by the Chopstick system. Right now, the rocket garden features several generations of Starship prototypes. To the left, we have Ship 20, which has never flown, then Ship 31, which could fly in the future, Ship 26, which seems to be more of an engineering pathfinder, Booster 4, which has also never flown, and now Booster 10 standing right next to it. You can see some great changes in between Booster 4 and Booster 10. The reinforcements on the common dome are increased, the shines have been changed of course, the lack of HPUs on Booster 10 and previously Booster 9, and lastly, the Hotstaging Ring itself. Some pretty rapid advancement over so few test articles. Also, the difference in stands is clearly visible here. The old stand barely covers any Raptors, while the new one seems to be much more sophisticated. And check out this human for scale. This is your friendly reminder of the sheer scale of the hardware that's being in play here. A great view here also shows the Hotstaging Ring and the dome once again installed inside to deflect the exhaust of the Raptors on ship. As of the recording of this video, Booster 10 is still at the production site, but maybe some funny text will appear here saying, "No dude, it's already been rolled out." SpaceX has a road closure for December 10th for transport, and then 2 more on December 11th and 12th for testing. It would be pretty ambitious to already be testing the booster on Monday if it had just gotten rolled out late on Sunday, but it would not be surprising to see some testing taking place on Tuesday. The window on Tuesday is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. For a free 30-day trial and 20% off an annual premium subscription, check out the link below. So what do you think? When will Starship return to flight? And critically, when will Starship finally come to Florida? Feel free to let us know in the comments down below. I'm Max Evans with NSF, and thanks for tuning in.